Hello and welcome to African Brands. I'm glad that you can join me on the continuing episode of COVID-19 in Business, where we speak to decision makers and top players of indigenous brands in Africa with special focus to Nigeria. Kickstarting this episode with the chairman and managing director of Jumac Group Limited as he talks about their journey in Nigeria and how they've been able to overcome challenges. Still on the continuing episode of the special documentary report, Amadeze Jengeheri. Stay tuned.
Have you ever tried to buy something online and ended up being scammed? Have you ever paid for an item online only to receive something completely different from what you expected? Well, there's no need to put your money at risk any longer. Vesicash ensures that you always get exactly what you paid for. Now, as a seller, you only need to deliver goods and services after the buyer has paid, so you're sure you're dealing with serious customers. And as a buyer, you release your payment from escrow only if you're satisfied with what you have received. How does it work? First, the buyer and the seller agree on the terms of the transaction. 2. The buyer pays into escrow via bank transfer or debit card. 3. The seller delivers the goods and services as agreed. 4. The buyer is satisfied with what was delivered and releases the payment from escrow. Escrow distributes control, reduces your risk, and brings full transparency to your transaction. De-risk your transactions. Start using Vesicash today.
Chief James O. Uzu, Chairman and Managing Director, Jumac Group Limited.
Jumac International Company Limited is a Nigerian company registered 1992 to carry on business of importer and manufacturer. We have been importing various goods from all over the country. Then about 1999, when Obasanjo government came in, he banned all the importation, like the traveling bag where we have 70% stake on importation. So we have to take the bull by the horn to venture into manufacturing. Hence, I know little about manufacturing. Then from there, I have to undergo training on how to manufacture goods. Then we start to manufacture traveling bags. We are the first indigenous manufacturer of Ecolac suitcases. From there, we've now upgraded to producing all types of domestic and industrial plastic, like chairs, table, spoon, all household plastic. Also, we produce a tank, mannequin, and so on. Jumac International Company Limited is known for quality. We don't compromise on quality. Our standards are the same of those imported from Europe and Asian countries. The unique about our brand is we produce good designs. Just like I said, we don't compromise on quality. People look out for Jumac products because of the unique of our product. We have trained experts to handle our products. That is why people keep on looking for anything manufactured by Jumac industry. Coronavirus just surfaced this year. Nobody was ready for that. So, when things come like this, you have to think a way forward. So, there's no company that is ready for this kind of pandemic, but we are managing it. Yeah, if you go to the factory, you can see the type of machines we have in the factory. We don't bring in fairly used machines. Most of our machines are digitalized. Like now we have adopted the system of using robots to produce. You know, that is one of the IT in this time. So very soon you won't see any factory that is serious must have robots. Robots will make it faster, accuracy, and neat. So we are going towards getting robots to help us to produce our goods and eliminate non-skilled workers. Manufacturing in Nigeria is very, very relevant, and you know, manufacturing is contributing up to 17% GDP of Nigeria, and in manufacturing we have a lot of challenges because Nigeria has a lot of oil. We depend on oil and leaving the industrial sector. We that went to the industrial sector, we have a lot of challenges. We don't have good roads. We don't have good transport. We need good transport system, like railway. If we have trains, we can now take our goods to other parts of Nigeria. Electricity is another problem. We spend more than 8 million naira every month on electricity and diesel, which is so much for manufacturing. Look at the wharf today. The congestion in the wharf is another problem. If government could, we have other seaports. If they could diversify or change, send other cargoes to other ports, it will make things easier because manufacturing is much needed in this country. They are contributing so much in labor force. So manufacturing is very, very relevant. Many organizations have devised means of communication this time because of the pandemic. Most of them work from their house. Just like here in Jumac, our administrative section, some of us work from home. But in the factory, people must be there. They have to distance themselves, make sure that they are protected, make sure they wash their hands every time, sanitize where it is necessary. I think this is the way we can go about it. Of course, having meeting through other social media must not come together like this to have meeting or any other thing. You can even be in abroad, still you are communicating. You are having meeting with other staff, so it's like you are in the office. Well, in Jumac, we are working very hard. I always like challenges. I am chasing after some people are chasing after me. So we hope in 5 years' time, in 2 years' time, after 2 years, when some people came here, they saw 1 or 2 buildings. But this year, if you go down there, you can see more than 5 buildings. That shows you that we know what we are doing. So in the next 5 years, Jumac will triple what they are doing. And when you go down, you can see that, yes, we are not playing. We are doing good. And we continue to make people happy with our good product. Because our product is already in the reach of many people.
Ufoma Ilesomi, General Manager, Heaven's Home.
Haven Homes, we've been in existence for 13 years. We've been developing for high net worth individuals, entrepreneurs, and different people from different walks of life. We are basically known as the pioneers of contemporary styled homes in Nigeria. And we've been developing off-plan, where the developer and the buyer come to an agreement or an arrangement where the project life cycle, there's a payment plan that goes across the project life cycle. That's pretty much what we've been doing. One of the very significant projects we have is our Richmond Gates Estate. Richmond Gates Estate is a fully occupied estate with 24 hours power supply. It's known as one of the most secured estates in Lagos and also known as Celebrity Estate of Nigeria. We recently launched our Richmond Pearl Estate, and our Richmond Pearl Estate is off Freedom Way, Lekki, close to Lekki Phase 1. It is also a very prime location, and one of the things that's very unique about Richmond Pearl Estate is that we have 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms on 2 floors, which allows the buyer to pretty much buy a home at the price of an apartment. So that's pretty much briefly about us. Okay, Haven Homes, we are affordable luxury developers. We have been building, as I mentioned earlier, we've been building for expatriates, entrepreneurs, and different people from different walks of life, and even people abroad. Last year, we recorded a 30% increase in the buyers abroad. And the reason we're able to connect with buyers abroad is because we've been able to eliminate the risk that has to do with them buying their property or owning their properties in Nigeria. As we all know, a lot of people abroad will send money home, huge money home, to give to people who they trust to build for them, develop properties for them, or to buy homes for them. And they end up getting burnt or getting disappointed simply because the people who they gave money to haven't met their expectations. So, but we've been able to eliminate that by ensuring that they have a risk-free investment with us. In the last couple of months, we've been reevaluating the entire system that we use to communicate with both clients, contractors, staff, and a lot of things are now being done. We've welcomed a lot of things to be done online. Meetings are done online, clients' meetings are done online, same as contractors. Normally what we do in the area of contractors is that we see them physically, but now we're having to encourage online meetings, online verification to let them pass that stage before we even get to meet them. I would say for our social media platform, for example, we're also reevaluating that to evolve into new innovations like having better content, video content creation for online platforms, and also virtual tours. We're doing a holistic virtual tours for all our showrooms so that clients can easily click online and just have a go and see what's going on out there rather than us see them physically at every meeting. So yeah, we're really going towards using the online platforms. Yeah. So yes, we've noticed the community, the desperation in the community, the hardship in the communities. And even before the global pandemic, we had set up a company called Haven Helping Hands, where we go renovate properties for people who naturally will not afford our properties. So the first project we did was an orphanage home where we renovated the complete building, and that's us giving back as CSR to the community. However, during the lockdown, the total lockdown, we were able to feed about over 3,000 people food and things that they needed as palliative to support the government with their efforts that they do in Lagos. So, yeah. Doing more education for our staff and contractors to make sure they're well aware, health educations. But we say safety. I mean, even for making sure that the environment is safe enough for clients to come in, and just generally ensuring that we check up on the community at large. My line of business is real estate. One of the very key things about doing real estate business or running a successful business in real estate is that you have to have high level of integrity. People should be able to trust you that with their money and be able to deliver when you say you deliver, because that's like the major things that affect the real estate business. However, there are two very key areas that people don't really talk about, and it's very important, which is number one, customer service. If you're very intentional about the customer service that you deliver to the people that are buying from you and people who are potentially going to buy from you, if you pay attention to the customer service, then you'll be able to achieve a successful business. However, you can't build a successful business and have customer service without having to take care of the staff. So staff motivation is so important. You can't translate your vision, your great vision, to people, and the people who work with you don't have the spirit of ownership to be able to carry on your vision to where you want it to go to. So you can take it from the bottom. You have the staff motivation, you get the customer service, you get the integrity, or you can take it from the top, whichever way. These three things are so key to a successful real estate business. In the next 5 years, we see ourselves as a global brand. We just completed our project in Atlanta, USA. We've sold the development that we've just completed. So when the lockdown is lifted, we intend to go back to continue the next development in Atlanta, USA. So as opportunity presents itself, we definitely will see ourselves in other global communities.
Haven Homes, connoisseurs of luxury living and beautiful homes. Since 2006, we have been building beautifully crafted, unique masterpieces that everyone wants a piece of.
At Haven Homes, we are renowned for the Richmond Gate Estate 1, which is known as the celebrity estate of Nigeria and even Africa.
The reason I chose to work with Haven Homes for my investing, number one, because of their track record. You look around Lagos and you see the properties that they do, from the location to the finishing, to the quality, to the functionality of the properties. Everything that they've done shows you that this is the top tier of luxury real estate at an affordable price.
Now there's more than enough reason for you to visit www.thehavenhomes.com today. Haven Homes. Home is where the art is.
We're called Patricia Technologies, but we go by Patricia. We're primarily a technology company. We have loads and loads of services. We let you buy and sell Bitcoin. We let you store Bitcoin. And we took it a step further by allowing you spend Bitcoin. So before now, if you want to utilize Bitcoin, you have to actually trade it to get value. But we introduced a Patricia debit card, which you could use anywhere in the world, literally, to withdraw your Bitcoin at malls, ATMs, restaurants, wherever and whenever you want it. We took it a step further and we let you buy and sell gift cards. So we use phones today, mobile phones, iOS and Android being the most popular platforms today. You could literally buy an iTunes gift card for Apple Music, for in-app subscriptions, all of that. So our focus in Patricia is finding solutions to everyday problems and making life more convenient. I would say the first thing would be to trust your teams, right? Ultimately, you have to trust your teams to handle, because you guys would have to start working from home. I'm pretty sure that has already happened, right? So you have to trust your teams, you have to learn how to delegate more, you have to have a proper feedback session. So with every task thrown in, you get proper feedback. proper response. And ultimately, I'd say trust your teams and provide them with support and relief to enable them do good work. Right? Companies need to accommodate and accept new technology. Before now, we had meetings in person, but now we have meetings on online applications, and that has proven to be faster and more efficient, saves more time, is more time conservative. So companies need to accept technology, or they will most likely follow the bandwagon, right? Because that is the only way businesses can thrive. And that is why you can see tech businesses are still doing well despite the whole pandemic. So people, communities, businesses, even churches are now adopting technology, having sermons or services on YouTube, right? So that is the direction that the world is going to tilt towards. And even after coronavirus is gone, the world as we know it will not be the same, right? So I understand that this storm is going to pass, but what we need to do is we need to learn to dance in the rain, even while the storm is still here.
Patricia, Bitcoin made easy. Patricia, Bitcoin made easy.
The truth is that COVID-19 has actually affected our business as a lawyer in a tremendous way. All the courts in Lagos State where I practice, as I speak to you, is closed down. All the courts in Lagos State. So what that means is that your ability for you to earn more income by way of filing new cases for clients as it is has been put in abeyance. So one or two things that we've actually learned in this COVID-19 is that we've learned that as a lawyer, you should be an all-round lawyer. We shouldn't focus only on litigation that's going to court. I think this is an opportunity for us to also look into soliciting aspect of law practice. So we've learned that we need to actually diversify as a lawyer, for us to diversify to look at other areas apart from litigation. So that is actually one of the things I've actually learned during this COVID-19, that as a lawyer, you need to be an all-round lawyer. You don't have to focus only in a particular area like litigation. You can actually go to other areas of law practice. So that is actually one of the things we've actually learned during this period of COVID-19.
My name is Amarachukwu Njoku, and I'm a jewelry designer and founder of Ola House of Accessories. So I make handmade jewelry using gemstones, corals, all sorts of assorted findings, and avant-garde jewelry. And I've been doing this for a long time, for almost 5 years now. Before COVID, right, it was business as usual. There were parties, there were occasions generally. Then when COVID struck, everything just stopped. So people like me in the fashion and entertainment industry we were hit really hard. People like me, I don't know about others, but I started thinking of ways I could survive. So after the first 2 weeks, I now thought to myself that, okay, what can I really do? Then I started online trainings. And I was shocked that people actually sent DMs and messages that, oh, they were interested in learning how to make tassels. Then I started Shambala. Shambalas are those bracelets that guys wear. That helped me a lot. Then when the lockdown ended, I now thought to myself that, okay, there are no parties, but people are still going to work, right? People are still going to normal places. So I launched 10 under 15 collection. So it has 10 pieces all priced below 15,000. And I realized that people were buying. Nobody had bought coral jewelry from me in the last 4 months. But when I started this, people were buying because when it work, you can wear it anywhere. It's not too dressy. You can style it, and I made most of them very versatile. It appealed to a lot of people, and that way I was coming up with new ideas and not doing things the way I was doing, because of course things have changed, so I had to move with the trend.
On this note, we've come to yet another incisive episode of African Brand. You can join us again same time and same station next week. You can also send us an email via info@africansbrands.com. Do remember to protect yourself and others from the COVID-19 virus by washing your hands or using an alcohol-based sanitizer frequently and not touching your face. As we all know, carefulness costs you nothing. I'm Adeze Jengiheri. Thank you for joining us.